All right, everybody, this is the second part to that video. This is the next day, actually, because I wasn't able to continue recording for many reasons. But I actually had these 3 cards sitting here, so that might be a message as well, where you might have to wait for something. I got these 3 cards, okay? So we have the Hangman reverse, the Sun, and the Lovers. Now, the Lovers at first was reversed, but when it actually came out, it came out upright. So it seems to me there's some sort of choice in love, because we have the Two of Cups reversed. I don't even know if I talked about this, but I think there's definitely something that has to do with a love connection. Oh yeah, I did mention there might have been a breakup or separation, or there's some sort of discord between you and another person, and there needs to be some sort of choice. And it seems to me that there needs to be an optimistic choice, or one of a positive energy involved here. And then we have the Sun and the Lovers card, so it's like I'm getting that the divine, or your spirit teams, both of your spirit teams, are looking down on you and watching over this connection. And if you really want this, I feel like the angels, God, your higher spirit team is working in your favor and saying, okay, well, you just have to make the right choices. And with the Hanged Man reversed here, I think that there is some sort of waiting game. You have to be patient. I don't know why I felt like there was the Temperance card, but there isn't. But I just saw the Temperance card in my mind's eye. And thinking of patience, and, the Hanged Man upright would be looking at things from a different perspective, and actually taking that time, like taking a pause, a moment out from the situation, whatever the situation is, and saying, there's something else I need to see. So I think that's being amplified here. And if you think about it, around his head, which I didn't even notice, I don't think I've ever noticed this, but looks like a sun, or looks like there's light coming off of his head. So there's like some sort of enlightenment that needs to happen, or is happening with this, okay? I'm going to put the Hangman reverse right there. I'm going to put these here just because they were close to, they were with that card, okay? So I don't know if we should pull any more tarot. I think I'm going to do my other oracle cards. Let's see. So what direction is this going in? I just want to see, like, from the angels, guides, ancestors of the highest white light, what direction is this going in? What does the collective need to hear, see? Wow. Transformation, a fresh new way of living emerges. So, and it's interesting, I'm putting that on the Magician card. There is a new way of looking at things. I know I say this a lot in the readings, but that's what a lot of this is about. That's what tarot is about, right? It's getting a new perspective on things. It's learning, okay, how can I be better? How can I solve this problem or situation? What do I need to do? What are the next steps? And things are going to change. Things are going to transform from being stagnant, I'm hearing, into some sort of movement. It feels like things were at a standstill for a while. And basically, you're going to manifest what you wanted all along, okay? And then I have 2 cards that popped out after that. Uncovering treasure. Beneath the surface lies great bounty. Yes, exactly. So you might not see it right now, and we're in the year of the dragon. There's a dragon on here. which I'm getting the word strength too. There is treasure, there is gold, so to say, underneath the surface, underneath what is seen on the surface. So you might think, or you might have been thinking, both of you, one or the other or both, have been thinking that there's nothing there for you, or maybe you didn't think that something was worth it, okay? And this could resonate. It doesn't have to, but again, if it doesn't, it's not your reading. If it does, you know, take what does and leave the rest. Like all the other tarot readers have said in the past, okay? Distant thunder, clear the air. So what needs to happen is speaking your truth. This person needs to speak their truth as well, okay? I'm looking at the Lovers on top of the Two of Cups reversed. There are a lot of things that were unsaid, left unsaid, I feel. There are a lot of things that do need to be cleared up. There's a lot of muddying of the waters, whether that was done intentionally or unintentionally, or just happened to be that way because of like the circumstances that have been going on, okay? I don't know. I'm going to pull from maybe a couple more. Okay. I'm going to pull from this Lenormand deck. Okay. One just popped out. Okay, so we have birds. It says gossip, small problem, excitement, anxiety, restlessness, chatter. There might be all of this going on. There might be some gossiping going on around this connection, whether that's done by one party or the other, with other people, or, you know, people gossiping about this connection. I don't know. Again, take what resonates. There might be, I think it's a little bit of everything. Like it says, small problem. I think the small problems turned into bigger problems. And there's a lot of anxiety surrounding the situation. But now they also represent chatter, the birds. So what I was saying is, you know, clear the air, speak your truth to one another. There needs to be a lot of things cleared up that were not really seen or understood, or like seen for what they actually are, okay? Now, I know that that chatter is not necessarily like deep conversation, but I think there definitely needs to be more conversations to be had about these things, okay? We also have house, home, family, warmth, security, privacy, comfort. I'm getting that there needs to be more of a security. There needs to be more of, yeah, that warmth. Maybe I'm getting that one or the other is missing this. Missing it as in like, I miss this, and also missing it as in like absent from your life, their life, whoever this resonates with, okay? And you might even have a family with this person, or you might feel as though they are like family, so maybe that's why there's this connection. Okay, what else does the collective need to hear? Any more from this deck? Okay, there's nothing else I don't feel from that deck. Okay, I might just pull from a lot of random decks here. Anything else the collective needs to hear? Higher powers? Ooh. Okay, so we have positive movement forward, and we have suffering in silence. So at least we have positive movement forward. We're moving on, right? We're moving towards the sun yet again, okay? There's the sun as well. You might feel like there's some distance, though, between you and this sun, this positivity, this radiance, this beautiful, you know, optimistic outcome, but it is there, okay? There is some distance, there is some water between, there is some distance between you and this outcome, but it definitely can be achieved. And I think you know, obviously it's saying there's a positive movement forward. So there's action involved here. So as long as you're continuing, I would say, to listen to your intuition, then you and this other person, I think then things are going to move along smoothly. But just know that since this is water, now this card is not a watery card, okay? This is a physical card, but it's saying that since there's water in this card, I just wanted to say it represents emotion. And there always can be something that pops up, right, in our emotions. So I would say to just, I want to say like be cautious, but that's not really the word, but just like be aware and notice what can make you feel certain ways at certain times, and maybe not to run with certain emotions or allowing certain things to carry you off in certain directions that aren't going to serve you or the other person. Like, that's just what I'm getting. Let me see what else. Yeah, like things are moving along. Things are, I would say, if you keep on having this optimistic, positive attitude towards things, that things will, you know, sort themselves out, or you will be able to sort things out with this person. Okay, I'm getting way too many cards now. But we have also suffering in silence, which I think that's been a theme lately as far as my readings go. Maybe you feel as though you're not being heard. But again, with that distance thunder, and, you know, clear the air, there definitely needs to be some sort of truth that needs to be said. There definitely needs to be some sort of communication. You know, and I think what it is also is we can get lost in communication, where maybe one person might feel offended by certain things that you're saying, or vice versa. You might feel offended by what they're saying, or maybe not just offended, but hurt or confused, or, you know, there's so many things that can, quote, go wrong in communicating your feelings, your thoughts, your side to someone else, right? So it's like there needs to be some sort of way to figure out how to constructively communicate between you and this other person, if that is what you want to do. But it does seem that that's what you want, you know, from the other cards here. We also have emotional loss. So I think that this has really, you know what? I think that's the same as the Five of Cups. Yes, it is. So we have the Five of Cups twice here, if you think about it. There is this extreme, I'm hearing like a takeaway, like if something feels like it's been taken away or out of your heart, or from you or from this other person, or both, okay? And this is like an extreme emotion. You might feel like this is chaotic at times. You might feel like you don't know where anything is going, what direction it's going in. You might feel like your emotions are taking over you like a tidal wave. And I'm getting a lot of like watery energy just in general from the, you know, just the energy of this. But also, like I said, the sun is showing up a lot here. So it's like, I think it's trying to reassure you that with the sun, it's like, you know, and the phoenix rising is associated with fire, right? He goes up in flames and rises from the ashes. So there's flames, there's fire, there's, we have some more cards here, but we have this theme of warmth, right? So it's like you might feel like there's this tidal wave coming in, this cold water. Okay, this is what I'm getting, just the visual. And then the sun is coming in and it's like saying, you know, no, swim towards the light. See how the light is shining on the water as well here. And I just, you know, when I see a theme, I'm going to go with it basically, because it's showing up a lot in these cards, and intuitively I'm just getting these messages. So there's something with it, like, okay, follow that optimistic side of you. And I know how much it probably hurts and how much, like, how hard it is to get out of a tidal wave, literally, right? Well, I don't know personally, but could only imagine, you know, because a lot of people die from stuff like that or get severely hurt. And you feel like, you know, you're going to drown. You basically, a lot of people do. But metaphorically, and I'm saying we, but whoever in this reading would have to, the message is to look towards the sun to help you find the surface, right? So, okay, so here we go. Swim to the surface of the water so then you know you'll be able to breathe again. This is all metaphorical, but pertaining to the situation. So, like, you're going to be able to communicate again. You're going to be able to, you know, stop the suffering in silence and stop feeling, you're going to be able to stop the feeling of drowning or, you know, being underwater, not being heard, not being seen. Again, positive movement forward. So there is progress towards this, towards the possibility of communication. The whole point, though, is to, you know, follow the light. So the light would be pertaining to the divine, God, higher powers, okay? Following your intuition. And I would say follow your heart, but it's more so your intuition I'm getting that's going to guide you in the right direction. And your intuition is that small little voice that is underneath everything when you're quiet, when you're sitting alone, when it's all said and done, right? When there's no one around, and you might even feel like you have all these thoughts racing in your head that's kind of, you know, with the chatter, like overpowering your intuition. You might feel like sometimes you can't even really hear what your intuition is saying to you. But the way to know what it is saying is to quiet. I know it's not easy. It's easy to say, but it's not easy to do. But quiet your mind and try to quiet everything around you, everything within you, and let the divine speak to you through you, if that makes sense. Because there's really no other way. And I think we already know the answers within. It's just a matter of, like, quieting everything so we can hear that. It's not necessarily the answer that would be the easiest. It would not always be the answer that we necessarily want, but it is what would be needed for you usually. You know, the divine knows best. So I'm going to keep going though. So we also have foundation and achievements with, well, I know that this would be like the Four of Wands and the Rider-Waite deck. I don't know why I'm like going this direction, but we have random cards up here. So this is a good sign as well. And like I was saying with house, oh, what do you know? It's so similar. Wow. And it's basically the same effect here. Like, it has 4 too. So it's about family. It's about support. It is, I would say, about security, because it's like, you know, it's basically like knowing you can count on the people that love you and that you love. That support system that you have, right? And I think it's reassuring you that this person is a part of that. And I think that is one of your concerns maybe too, or like desires, like wanting this person to be that. Now they are. Maybe you just haven't felt that in a while. I don't know. I'm just getting that for some people. Maybe that doesn't resonate with everybody. But they're definitely there to support you. It's just, I would say a lot of this is a miscommunication and being lost in your emotions, you know. So, okay. Then we also have sacral chakra. And then I'll just lay the other one, hope, which would be the star card in the tarot. So, see, again, with the sun, the light, following the light, this is what you want, okay? Sacral chakra is all about what you want, what you desire, your desires. And I was saying that, like, you desire this, even though it's already there. See, because it's a foundation. It's already been there. It's just a matter of clearing through all of this emotional stuff. I would say it's mental too, though. Mental and emotional turmoil that can be in the way of your intuition, or be in the way of both of your intuitions, or just not knowing which direction to go in. But it is, so it's more of a clearing, again, clearing the air with this card. It says that on there. Clearing the air, speaking your truth, but doing so in a way where it's going to respect the other person, vice versa, you know. And then we have hope. So there's definitely hope here. There's definitely something worth saving, I'm hearing. There's something worth holding on to, just by the way that their hands are like this. Again, there is uncovering treasure. There's a hidden treasure beneath what has been going on. And maybe it's just not seen. But again, it's like a clearing. Something needs to be cleared out in order to see what's actually underneath it. Okay, I almost want to like pull one or two more from this deck. Angels, guides, ancestors, the highest white light. Okay. Yep. Yeah, this is something you're passionate about. Passion ignited. There might be like a reigniting of passion. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Again, with your desires. Like, this is part of what you desire. This is part of what, well, you and this other person. And I'm getting, the passion is there, okay? And it's not just sexual passion, but it's passion for a connection which is already there. Again, it's just a matter of, I keep getting that message of clearing the air, clearing, like resetting, being understood and understanding each other. And then we also have triumph, which would be the Chariot. Yeah, okay. So there is positive, again, there's positive movement forward. And then we have this, you know, basically backing that up. And the Chariot is many different things, but mainly fast action towards whatever we're talking about, right? So, there's definitely movement, okay? And then we have the end of the decks. Like, when I split it, I looked, and it says fulfillment of wishes. So this is the 9 of Cups. So this, you are going to get your wishes. I'm going to put that down as well. You are going to get what you've been asking for, okay? As far as whatever you need to be communicated to this person, that's going to happen. They're going to be able to communicate whatever they need to you. Okay, we also have at the other end, accelerated motion. So, that is the Eight of Wands. Again, fast action, fast movement, and it can represent communication. So there definitely is going to be some sort of communication soon with you and this person. It's going to be fast. It's going to, I'm hearing it's going to be fair. It's not going to be one-sided. It's going to be, you know, both people are going to be able to communicate. Now, underneath those, I just want to pull these out because this is interesting. Underneath the fulfillment of wishes was deception and envy. Don't get scared, though. And then we have spiritual union under accelerated motion. Now, what I feel what these are saying is that under the fulfillment of wishes, there's deception and envy. It's like, just because that card is here doesn't mean that someone necessarily is purposely trying to hide something from you. That's like being malicious. There might be something like that for some people, but I really don't get that in this reading. I get that what this means is you and this person, I think, were putting a mask on to protect yourselves, first of all. That could be deception, right? Because you're not showing who you really are underneath that mask. And again, uncovering treasure. That was that other card that was underneath here. And then look, the treasure box right here, okay? The treasure is the truth underneath the mask, okay? And if you look at it, you know, he's lifting his mask up. So what I'm getting from this intuitively, this is not always what this means, but intuitively, it's like you're both pulling your masks up, maybe not completely, but you're like, okay, let me see what's underneath this and let me show this other person what is underneath my mask as well. Because it's like it was easier and you were protecting. Yeah, like it was easier to put a mask on to cover what you were really feeling, what you were really thinking about the whole situation. Maybe you didn't want to show all your cards, so to say, because you didn't want to get hurt any further. Yeah, that's basically what this is. You didn't want to get hurt more, okay? So you both were like putting on this mask or this like show, so to say. But there is a unveiling of that. There is a lifting of the veil with this, okay? And I think also you could have been deceiving yourself. This could go for them as well. Or it could be vice versa, whoever, you know, this resonates with. And again, this would be the Two of Cups. And it's interesting how it was reversed before, but now it's upright. And this is like the next day that I'm doing this, okay? Like continuing this reading. And I specifically left this because I felt like it really needed to be talked about. There is a spiritual union between you and this person, and that's why I'm hearing that you couldn't let go of it, okay? Now, again, if this resonates with you, it resonates. If it doesn't, it's not your reading, you know? And I think people are going to know, like, if you are in a spiritual union with somebody and this has been going on, you're going to know. If not, you're going to know that as well. This is not something, you know, you're going to be confused about. I just want to say that with tarot, it's just a confirmation and it's just to get more clarity on your situation. So this doesn't mean this reading is for everyone just because it's collective. Just want to throw that little disclaimer out there. But whoever this person is, you and this person, it's like almost like I'm hearing the word pact, like you made a pact, you made a promise to each other, and you promised yourself, really. I mean, I don't know if it's really a promise, but more of like a, there's just this bond, okay, that you have with this person, whether it was spoken or, well, I was going to say unspoken, but it's been spoken about, but it's something that's also unspoken. And it just is there, okay? It's not something that you can easily break. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? It's not, and it just is what it is kind of situation. It's not like you're forcing something. It's more like when you separate from the person, you almost feel like you cannot not love them, if that makes sense, okay? And I'm not talking about anything that's like abusive or controlling. I just want to put that out there. But there is a lot of misunderstandings, okay, in this reading. So this can get tricky, but I just want you to know, again, you got to have discernment in your own life, your own situations, if this is for you or not, because, you know, it's up to us, the listener, to discern whether this is for you or not. There is a lot of miscommunication, but that is going to change now, obviously, like I've been saying. But that's why it might seem like, well, wait, what do you mean? This is a spiritual union, but we had, you know, the Two of Cups reversed before. Because it's there, but it's just, there's a lot in between. There's a lot covering it up, right? There's a lot of masking. There's a lot of fearful, like protecting yourself. This other person's protecting themselves. Okay, so I'm going to try to wrap this up. But I did have another card. But we also have the Power card, which is the Strength card in the Rider-Waite. And I think this is just like a reassurance that you do have the strength. You both have the strength to pull through. Okay. Reveal who you truly are. And I think there's another message with the way there's like half lion, half man on this card. Where it's like, okay, show your true self. Show your true wild self. But don't... I'm getting the message also of like, you know, be wary or be aware of going overboard, if that means, you know, or whatever that means to you. But I think you're going to know what that means. It's because there was a lot of emotional, I wanted to say like backlashing or like, you know, arguing or going back and forth. This is just what I'm getting. And with this, it's like, we're going to let our wild side out, but we're going to temper it as well. We're not going to let it, you know, go completely wild where there could be misunderstandings again, because that's where it went wrong, if that makes sense, right? That's why that card, Suffering in Silence, showed up, because if it goes too far and you're disrespecting one another while you're trying to communicate, then it's not going to get anywhere, right? So what I'm trying to say is that you need to have your wild side come out, right? You need to have your true self come out, but you also need to temper it, not only temper it, but have that self-control, okay? And that's what power really is about, if you think about it, is having that self-control. If you have self-control, you have a lot of power. People that try to control others, for example, don't have a lot of power in them, don't have a lot of control. So in order to gain control, you have to gain control of yourself. I think that's a good place to leave it, because maybe you didn't realize, or this person didn't realize, that there was some sort of, because I was talking about control too, which was interesting with the spiritual union. I said it wouldn't be, you know, it's not right if we're talking about someone trying to control the other, but maybe there was a non-realization, if that's a word, that there was some sort of control going on here trying to control the external, trying to control the other person, but not realizing that that's what you're doing, or that person, or whoever involved, right? You or this other person, or both, maybe trying to control the outcome, trying to control how something is said, or, you know, instead of trying to control that, learn to self-control, you know, learn to know when to say what, know when to hold back. And it's not, I'm not going to get into all the details in this reading. That would take, you know, a long time. But it's basically saying to learn, and what do you know? In the end of this deck, love begins. Okay, this is the Ace of Cups. We'll put that down too. Just like, it's learning to temper yourself, learning to maybe not jump to conclusions. Like, that's just an example. Learning how to communicate your feelings without accusing another person or hurting them in the process of communicating your feelings, your thoughts, your viewpoint on something. Having some sort of constructive criticism rather than criticizing every little thing that somebody does, for example. You know, stuff like that, okay? Maybe holding back on something that you really want to say, but you know is not going to help the situation. You know, things like that. Then with love begins, obviously, I'm getting with this is if you both put your energy, your work into this, that this will prosper, this will work, okay? But if one person doesn't, you know, put their hand on this bowl, right? For example, the other person can't do it by themselves. So you're both needed to make this work, okay? It might not be easy. It might not be exactly what you've expected. This is what I'm getting as well. But it's there. Know that the love is there. And know that it's going to begin again. There is going to be, again, the phoenix rising from the ashes. There is that potential, okay? Everything is there. All the ingredients are there to make this work. If that is what you want, if that is, which obviously I see that that is what you want. If this is what the other person wants, and I do feel that that is the same for them as well. If you can work through all the emotional crap, let's just put it like that, all the emotional and mental crap, because a lot of it's mental too, then you can do this, okay? And I just want to say with the mental stuff, like the thoughts can also make you think things that aren't even really entirely true, and then it can create all this emotional turmoil within yourself and vice versa. So I think really hearing each other out is what is needed. Yeah, just really clearing. It's a lot of clearance that's needed. And it will move forward. It will fall into place. Everything will fall into place as needed. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you like the video, please hit the like button. If you'd like to subscribe, please do so as well. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.